Trunks is only that strong with the sword because he applies his physical strength with that sword.
Like, if we were
That
to take away Trunks, matter of fact, prime example, in the entirety of the Cell Saga, he doesn't have a sword, and he's still the same threat he would be if he had one. In fact, he's
Didn't
more
even
of a
train
threat
with it.
because he doesn't have it. He didn't even bother using it. And even
right,
when,
because most of the time when
even
we
in the
see
future
Trunks with his
saga,
sword, he gets it broken.
even
Okay.
in the future saga, prime example, I'm glad Cam said that. In the future saga with Goku Black, he gets that sword broken. What does he start doing? Instantly using his hands. Same threat. Nothing changes. Zoro lost his swords one time. He almost died.
But it happened. Hello.
You see,
Zoro literally lost his three
Not gonna
swords. He
happen at
almost
all.
died.
Okay.
okay,
You know
I
that,
know
right?
that happened.
I
He lost
do.
three. He lost his three swords. He almost died.
That's cool.
Kenshin chose to turn his sword on the opposite end, so he didn't have to take another life.
And I ain't gonna lie,
because that's what he was known for. And he lost his sword, almost died.
Most of the fight Trunks is won.
Oh my
And
god.
we can include
Ichigo.
non-canon too.
You know how many times
Most of the
Ichigo
fight
gets his
Trunks
sword
won.
broken and almost
He didn't
dies?
use his sword.
Like, bro, if
So
you think
Ichigo
Ichigo's
can be considered a swordsman?
If you think
He
if you
can,
think
and he
Ichigo
is, Nick.
No.
Ichigo is a swordsman.
Yeah,
Fact.
Thank you,
No,
thank you, thank
strong
you,
nigga with
thank
a
you.
sword. I don't care. I'm sorry, strong nigga with a sword.
He
That's
is a
not the
strong
same
nigga with a
He's a
thing.
strong
Just
nigga
because
with
he has a
sword, bro.
physical
You
power,
can be
that's
strong
not
and still use a
personal.
sword as a swordsman. You do know
He's
that,
a
right?
strong nigga with a sword. Ichigo is the same
Goodbye.
threat without his sword.
You can still be proficient with a sword even if you're strong. You do know that, right?
Okay, if that's the case, Kensei's a swordsman.
Can say. I mean, I
Don't say
mean,
Keith. Don't say it. Nick.
What?
Don't say it.
If you have trained
So we
using
know
a
for
sword,
That
His
Kensei's not a
Shikai turns
swordsman.
into a knife.
oh,
His Bankai is gauntlets. He's not a swordsman. I'm sorry to tell
okay, but he had to learn how to do all that. Feel me? He
If that's the
still
case,
knows how to.
Soifon's a
You
swordsman.
know what?
Matter of fact, well, technically speaking, Soifon would be a swordsman, but she's an assassin, so she doesn't have to use a sword itself. She uses a shorter blade sword, so different thing. That's a different thing.
you know
But
what?
prime example, Ichigo does not really have any real sword training, dog. Like, matter of fact, a lot of the time this nigga is swinging his giant cleaver around like guts.
Worth.
Come on,
It's
bro.
fine.
Let's be real. It's not a real.
Similar
He's
is
not a real
fine.
swordsman.
Okay,
He's
okay.
swinging his sword around like
All right,
guts.
I'm about to
And
break.
Trunks was just giving his sword to
And
somebody else.
Trunks is really not a swordsman because there are multiple arcs where you see him just throw straight knuckles. You don't see
Okay.
him bother to pull out a
Artists,
sword.
bro.
Just because someone rather
What do you
use
mean,
their hands
okay?
over their sword does not make them not a swordsman if they're mostly using a sword in
In that
combat.
case, Ganondorf is a
If
swordsman,
Trunks-
bro.
Okay, so let me
What
ask you a
is
question.
Trunks
Is
Do you
Trunks the
consider
same threat with a sword?
Gohan a swordsman? Because Gohan used the sword at one point.
He used
But he
it-
didn't use it to attack anything. But he still trained using a sword, so he doesn't know how to use a sword. So I would say Gohan is a sword. Yes, I would say
Trunks
Gohan's a
never
swordsman.
trained with that sword.
I would assume
Trunks
Gohan's
really
a swordsman.
never
Yes, you could have Gohan as a
In the
swordsman.
manga, he did, but in the show, no.
We're counting all forms of media here. We're not just counting the show. We're counting all forms of media.
The point
So
that I'm
Trunks
getting
is a
at
swordsman.
to be
Gohan is a
To be
swordsman.
classified as a swordsman, you have to be a master of your blade.
Which
The
Sasuke
three
is.
people you named, out of the three people you named, the only
You could've
person that's
named
really
anybody.
a master of his blade is Sasuke. But even still, it's a lot of times where this nigga doesn't use a sword. He's usually using his Susanoo or some form of chakra, or he's throwing some hands. Yes, he uses a sword to do things. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but to classify him as a straight up swordsman, no.
But his sword is his
Swordsman
main
are
weapon that we see
definition of
him with
He
throughout
is
the
a
entirety of
real-
Naruto,
actually, yeah, he
outside
is a
of
real
OG.
swordsman. He's a master of his blade and of all types of blades. He is a swordsman. There's multiple other swordsmen
Okay.
in Yu Yu
You can also
Hakusho.
throw hands. too, you know.
Gintama, my fault, not Gintama. Gentoki, straight up swordsman.
I ain't gonna
Gintoki
lie,
is a
even though
swordsman.
he
Yes.
fight.
Most of the
Even
time
though
we
he can
see
fight,
he's not
he's
even
swordsman.
allowed to use his swords because they like doing the whole weapons is prohibited bullshit. Like,
You know what, Cable? Let me tell you this. What are most Cloud Ninja? Please tell me.
A lot of Cloud Ninja are swordsmen.
Exactly. All right. Okay. So tell me
Such as
this.
Killer B, that one other, all the other black.
Darui, Karui,
all the
Omui,
other
all
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
most if not every Cloud Ninja is a swordsman. Most if not every Mist Ninja is a swordsman.
The only person that I can think of that's not a swordsman in the Cloud Village is I. That's it.
A is not a swordsman. None of
the third Raikage.
only Darui is the only Raikage that isn't a swordsman. Okay. Okay, we agree on that. Naruto is the epitome of strong dude with a fucking sword. Naruto took Sasuke's sword against Momoshiki and did nothing with it. He just swung it around with nothing.
Projectiles, why did you
During
activate that?
during the Boruto movie, Naruto took Sasuke's sword against Momoshiki and swung it around and didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Yes, That was just something that.
Because Naruto is not a swordsman. Naruto is not. Naruto has never used a sword in his life.
That was just something they did so we could look at it like, damn, them niggas cold as hell.
Sasuke uses his sword in most of his in almost every battle he's had outside of OG Naruto.
Sasuke uses his sword.
Sasuke uses his sword mostly during the 5 Kage Summon arc, the War arc, and Boruto.
In Shippuden, he does use his sword.
Early,
but my thing is, without his sword, he's still the same.
That doesn't matter. You can be strong and still be efficient with a sword. You do understand that, right?
He was.
It doesn't make you a
swordsman.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all.
A real swordsman is not okay.
What are you talking about?
A real swordsman is a guy that doesn't do great.
So you telling me that a swordsman can't still have to be weak without his sword to be a swordsman? Are you fucking crazy?
There are other real swordsmen that are threats without their sword. Like again, Zoro is still a strong ass nigga without his sword, but you will never see him use his hands. You're gonna see him 99 unless even when they're having them little comedy fights like when him and Sanji are arguing, this nigga grabs his swords to fight Sanji even though he's kicking him. Like that happens a whole lot. So much. And Bruno Kenshin.
Uses his sword. So what I'm getting from you is that a nigga has to be weak to be a swordsman if they're using a sword proficiently.
They gotta be reaching for their sword.
Just because they have to reach for their sword most of the time does not mean they what?
It's not in their instinct to go for their sword.
Right, it's not.
So like
Sasuke doesn't have to go for his sword.
He usually does though.
Ichigo were to lose his sword, you'll see the first thing he reach for be his sword. He's not.
You're gonna hate me when I say this shit.
The reason I consider Ichigo a strong nigga with a sword is because he doesn't have any formal proper training like all the other Soul Reapers.
But he's still been trained with. But he's still been trained with a sword, right? He's still been trained while using a sword, right?
He got.
So he's a swordsman. Okay then. Problem solved.
Ichigo
I would consider him a strong nigga with a sword just because.
No.
What I would say.
Okay, so you disagree with me on this one.
He would reach for his sword. He would reach for his sword.
This next
Can we just say the whole thing about? how?
But that whole Trunks
probably
shit,
like that with a sword.
No, not definitely not.
Probably like that with
I'm counting Trunks as a sword, but I don't give a shit what y'all say. I don't give a damn.
But that whole Trunks thing is just out of pocket.
Okay, so Cable, you disagree with me on this next character plenty of times, even though he's been said to be one plenty of times. Kirito is a fucking swordsman. I don't give a shit what the fuck you say. I don't give a shit what you say. I don't give a shit what you say. Kirito's a fucking swordsman. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Kirito is a swordsman. Outside of the game, sure, he's not the greatest sword, but in Sword Art Online and Gun Game Online, he's a fucking demon.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you why the whole him being in the game doesn't matter. Because no one.
It does matter a lot, actually,
bro. So you telling me?
Most of his threats are inside the game.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Listen. You telling me if we used to put him against someone like Ichigo Sasuke, they gonna put on their headset, jump into the fucking game, and automatically have all those stats? No, nigga, that don't matter. Outside of that game, he's a regular wimp.
I just said that.
In a room.
I just said that.
Exactly.
Where are his threats though? Inside the fucking game.
Bringing him up.
In Sword Art Online, Gun Gale Online, he is a fucking demon with a sword. Outside, he trains in the use of swordsmanship. That doesn't matter though.
By your logic, that means I'm Bruce Lee, because I'm an animal with law. So that would mean I must be law in real life, right?
That's not the same. That's not the same logic. That's not the same logic.
Is getting stats in a video game, and you're trying to attribute that to him.
Kirito actually uses what he learns in real life inside the fucking game. That's why he's so damn good at it.
The worst part about it, you tried to say that shit and say he would beat Guts in a fight. Like
when did I say that? When did I say that? I never said that. You fucking crazy. I never said that. I never said that. That was a joke. That was a joke. That was not serious. You took that seriously? You took that seriously?
I
was joking.
Dude, by that logic, do you consider those two kids from Super Dragon Ball Heroes to be actual Saiyans?
Oh my fucking god. We're bringing beat and note into this. We're not. I'm not counting Xeno created characters. I'm not counting them. No, they're not counted. They're not counted.
They're not created characters.
They're not. Technically,
Well, they're
like,
actual
people that jumped into a
no,
card game.
I'm not counting that. I'm not counting them.
Exactly.
Come on, answer the
This is
question.
the same
Answer the
logic.
question. Answer the question.
He said no.
Do you
He
consider
said
them
no. He's
saying?
not counting that. He said no. That's all I need to hear was no.
Do they have any formal training in martial arts at all?
Do you think Kirito has any training?
He does! He trains with his sister constantly!
Wait, what is this?
On a consistent basis, he trains with his sister.
Shut the fuck up.
They both train in swordsmanship. Y'all do know that, right?
You wanna know who's a real swordsman? I got her beat, and I got this is a girl. I don't know
Please,
if
tell
anybody ever read God of High School, but the girl from
I
God of High
did.
School with the wooden sword claps Kirito in his whole universe. Doesn't matter.
You might be fucking crazy
His
on
whole
that. I don't know
universe
about that one,
dies
dog.
for her in a wooden sword.
I don't know about that
Her
one.
wooden sword. I'm not even using her actual sword. Her
I don't know
wooden
about that
sword.
one.
Just her alone claps. What?
I don't
Bro,
know.
she's comparable to Han and not Sung Jinwoo. That's the wrong name. That's the wrong shit. I forgot his fucking name. You know what I'm talking about though.
Bro, I thought the only saying we really. I thought
Mori
the
Jin,
only
thank
saying
you.
we.
All
I thought
these
the only
Korean
saying we
names is
really
confusing,
can
bro.
defend that uses a weapon is just Goku.
I just
Goku
finished
actually
reading
has used the
Solo
power
Level
flow
the other day.
before.
That was actually really good.
Yeah, Mori Jin, bro. Like she's on the same level with Mori Jin and Han Daewoo. And Han and Mori Jin are Goku and Vegeta level.
Oh, you said God of High School. I thought you said like. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Okay, then yeah, never mind. Okay,
Just her along with a wooden sword.
There was another show that has high school in it. Is something else. I thought you meant her.
High School DxD.
High School the Dead. That's that one. That one. I'm thinking like, what the fuck?
High School DxD, it would be even funnier.
High School. I mean,
fully watched High School DxD.
maybe cause Issei.
What's his name?
Issei's a fucking demon. Issei's a pro.
Oh my lord! By this point, we're just gonna defend that Sonic is a fucking swordsman.
No, well,
Because he used the sword once.
He did use the
no,
sword once, right?
maybe not. No, maybe not Sonic. Maybe not
If you
Sonic.
count Sonic as a swordsman, I'm
Ganondorf?
straight blocking you, my nigga.
I
I'm
might
gonna block
no.
you.
Sonic has had no formal training with a blade at all. So no, I'm not counting Sonic at all.
Wait, no, I'm kidding.
No, Sonic does not have no formal training with a blade.
To sit here and try to
Because that spike is so
to sit
bad.
here and keep trying to bring up fucking Kirito from SAO.
I'm counting Kirito the fucking swordsman. I don't give a
Because
shit.
you know for
I don't give a shit.
You know for a fact that outside of the game, you wanna know a nigga who's a swordsman? Guts.
Gus is a swordsman. Okay,
all his
that's
life.
cool. Okay, you got that one. I believe you. You're right. That's cool.
It just happens to be that he picked a big ass sword to be his main weapon.
That's cool. So Cable, tell me this: is Cloud a swordsman?
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck yes, Cloud's a swordsman.
Okay.
When have you ever seen Cloud do anything else other than use a sword? Why are you asking me that?
You know,
Everybody
hey.
in Final Fantasy is the things that they are.
Hey.
Cloud's a swordsman. Clive is a swordsman. The other nigga that
Sephiroth
looks just like
Sephiroth
Cloud is a
is a
swordsman.
swordsman.
Sephiroth is a swordsman.
Okay. I'm testing you. Don't take that
Are you gonna ask
seriously.
if Virgil a
Disagree
swordsman
with that.
too? Because if you're gonna ask that, you might want to get out of this.
Huh?
Heat.
What?
You're gonna ask us if Virgil a swordsman too?
Virgil is a swordsman. The
You
fuck?
ask that, I might leave. You ask that, I'm gonna leave.
What?
Is Raiden a swordsman?
You ask some shit like that.
That's fucking crazy. That's
No,
crazy.
because you're just asking obvious, stupid ass questions. So we might as well just go ahead and ask right. Tanjiro a swordsman? Is Zenitsu one? Is Shinya a swordsman?
We're doing like obvious picks here. Yes, all of the characters y'all just listed are fucking swordsmen.
Obviously, I couldn't tell because by this logic, you would believe Sonic is a swordsman.
You're so bad.
What I'm saying,
Get off me.
you tried to
You're
use
so
Trunks
lucky
as the
my
argument,
controller.
knowing full well that there's multiple arcs where this nigga just doesn't even care about.
And
swords.
that's
He just
okay.
uses straight hands and feet.
That's cool.
He
That's
can't be a
cool.
swordsman.
That's okay,
He can't
right?
be a swordsman if using
What the fuck do you mean?
If using a sword is his secondary form of attacking, he's not a swordsman.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's some crazy. That's
Can
some
we bring up
bullshit to
another
say.
point with Trunks? Can we bring up another point with Trunks?
Oh,
We
wait,
just have to
what?
sit there and accept it. Can we bring up another
Yo,
point
what?
where Trunks had the sword on? Okay, so y'all remember the fight between Super Saiyan Trunks and Blue Goku versus Zamasu and Rose, and how Trunks had that sword on his back and he didn't use it?
Definitely did.
To the last
Definitely
minute.
did.
Cause the
To the last
keyblade. Yeah,
minute.
yeah, that's cool.
You wanna know? But you wanna know a nigga that you can't argue as a swordsman? I was gonna say Meredith. Fuck, my fault.
You fucking idiot! Oh my
Uh,
god! Please shut
I'm
up.
trying to think of his
Just
name.
shut
Give me
up.
a second. No, I'm trying to think of his name. It's the nigga, the leader of the Seven Deadly Sins. I couldn't think of his name. Off the top of my head.
Meliodas?
Meliodas?
Meliodas. Thank you. Yeah, Meliodas.
He only.
I knew I was in the right. I knew I was in the right letters. I fucked up. But Meliodas is a swordsman.
I
He's a
You're more than
swordsman.
fucked up, buddy.
And he
Yeah.
can throw hands too.
Meliodas.
And he can throw
Yeah.
hands, but he's a swordsman. Majority of
Yeah.
the time, You
He
see
uses
him
his
whip out
sword.
his sword when a situation calls for it.
Even though he's a
Even if it's
demon,
a
he had
broken
immense
sword.
strength. He
Somehow
knows.
this nigga was over here fading people with a sword that was broken.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. If that's not a swordsman,
That
I
was
don't know what it is.
actually that was a key. That
So
was a key.
again, a strong
that
nigga
was
with a
key.
sword, right?
It was
A strong nigga with a sword, right?
Who else? Not Link. What's the nigga from Kingdom Hearts?
Sora.
Sora is a swordsman. He uses a key.
Some people don't call the keyblade a sword. I don't.
It's a key blade.
I get that.
Key blade.
I know it's a
Like
sword.
a sword.
Some people would just say it's not one because of how it's shaped.
You know, I really do hate
The
short
chick from
niggas.
Kill la Kill. I'm trying to think of her name.
Kill a kill.
Somebody say the main
Ryuko?
character from Kill la Kill.
I know who
Ryuko,
you're
thank
talking
you.
about though. Yeah.
Ryuko would be considered a swordsman, even though she used a scissor blade. She'd be considered.
It's
a
still a
swordsman.
it's still a
She's well adept
blade.
in wielding it like a scissor. She
You know.
wields it. She wields half of that big ass pair of scissors like a sword.
It's still
and
a
she
blade.
uses it
so
really
yeah,
well.
I mean, yeah,
So
that's
she
fair.
would be considered Ryoko. Not Ryoko. Wait, no, yeah, Ryoko
Ryuko.
is the main character. I'm talking about the other one. The I can't remember her name.
The blue hair chick.
Yes, I can't remember her name.
Esdeath.
Burn.
No, she's from
No.
Akame got killed. I think
Yeah.
she got killed. But Esdeath is a swordsman, and the girl and Akame is a swordsman. Obviously, even the nigga who donned the
Tatsumi.
Kershaw armor, not the gay one, Tatsumi. Yes, Tatsumi's a swordsman. Technically,
Tatsumi's a fraud.
when
I
we
don't
first
care.
see him, he's using a sword.
Tatsumi's a
Literally,
fraud. I
when we
don't care.
first see,
He
when
definitely is.
we first lay eyes on bro, and he's slaying this giant beast.
Can we talk about
he's using
everybody
what?
got
First
murked?
eyes on,
in- Can we talk about everybody got murked in that show because Tatsumi just didn't want to smash?
I ain't gonna lie, he's stupid as hell. If smashing meant saving my bros, if smashing meant saving my bros, whipping it out.
Oh, I'm looking for
Let me swing.
other characters. You don't watch Shaman King, so.
You say
but,
let this.
I have
Yo,
never seen Shaman.
but Yo is a swordsman, so.
Because
I'ma take
all
your-
at that
I'ma
point
take
it
your
was
word for
him,
it, 'cause I've
and
never
all
seen
he had to do was
Tatsumi
just.
definitely sold the bag because all he had to do was smash that one girl, but in the end,
But even
everybody
no,
died.
actually he
What?
couldn't. He tried
I'd
to
have
see.
popped
He's
the-
like, he
I'd
said,
have
"Is
popped the honey
you
bag.
gonna change your out like the way you look at things?" She's like, "No,
But
I'm gonna
wait,
hey, you
continue
don't-
doing this."
He's not
All
even
he's
Hey,
done was
so
save
be
himself.
it. Hey, so be it, bro. I'd have still
It
hit.
just saved him. You're terrible.
Okay, so be it.
Hey, nigga, I'm not dying a virgin.
I would have read it. Though. I'd have been like, look.
Hey, I'm not
everybody,
dying
y'all
a
gotta listen
virgin.
to
The
me.
I'm
manga
good.
ending
I'd be
was
like, y'all
better.
gotta listen to me.
At least
I'd be
gang
like, y'all
lived.
gotta listen to me. Y'all gotta listen to me.
Oh,
Death
so
is
it's my
coming to
fault
kill you
everyone else
guys.
get to die
How
a
do you know
virgin,
this?
and I
We
have
were
to
laying in
join
bed.
y'all. No, I'm
I
getting
mean,
some
in
pussy
the manga
before
he
I die.
didn't. But man,
Okay, but would you call Asta a strong nigga with a sword or a swordsman?
Asta is definitely a swordsman.
I think he's a
Okay.
swordsman.
He's not even good with his hands. He's not
He
good.
really just uses his
He-
sword.
he's strong as fuck, though.
Why are you asking me questions like this? Oh, see,
I'm
but
fucking
listen,
with you.
listen,
I'm
listen.
fucking
No,
with
but
you.
listen,
You do get that,
I want
right?
you to know. Hold up. I know. I get that. But listen, even if you weren't fucking with me, asking me something like this will prove my earlier point about how a swordsman is more of a threat with a sword than without. Because if you take away Asta's swords, this nigga's pretty much useless for the most part. Like, unless he goes into demon form, which is pure anti-magic. But if you take away his swords, he is literally a threat. I mean, no, he's not. He's literally not a threat. You give him a sword of any kind, he is an animal.
Oh, it's crazy how everywhere I look,
Sword, animal.
you know,
You got the demon swords.
Cable. It's
Animal.
crazy how like everywhere I look, I see
Get out the
Kirito and
way.
Ichigo as fucking swordsmen, man.
My
It's crazy how I see
I don't
that.
count Ichigo as a swordsman.
It's
You know,
crazy.
it's funny
I
because
don't-
I'm pretty
because-
sure people who consider
because his
it's funny
style
because
is-
I'm pretty sure people who
See-
consider them a swordsman didn't even watch the show.
See, listen, the reason I don't consider Ichigo a real swordsman as opposed to Asta, because Asta,
My bad,
you see
Nick.
Asta visibly training with multiple different swordsmen. You see him training with Yami, you see him training with that other dude he met.
Bro.
Like,
Ichigo
he
training
literally
with-
trains.
The
No, he did
Ichigo
not.
training with the Ichigo training with Squad Zero. He's
They didn't
gay.
teach him. Hold up. But they didn't teach him sword build. They didn't teach him sword
Huh?
skills like Ken. They didn't teach him kendo. They didn't teach him stuff
Kisuke
like
did.
kendo and things like.
Kisuke
Kisuke
did.
did not teach him kendo.
Huh?
What are you talking about? He
Huh?
taught, bro. He did not teach him no kendo, bro. Ichigo does not have a. The reason he wields his sword the way he does is because it's fucking humongous. That's it. It's literally huge. So he wields it how he has to wield it like that, as opposed to like.
Can we please go look at that, please?
Kenpachi knows kendo.
No.
Yes, kendo. I kept saying
Can we
kendo
please
in
go
my
look at
head.
that arc where Kisuke takes him to the basement, please?
Is Kai from looking at Drago
Anyway.
swordsman question mark?
Shut the
I
hell
love
up.
looking everywhere and seeing characters that are listed become swordsmen, man. It's crazy.
Type of
I
dumbass
love
question
just
is that?
looking
Is Kai from
everywhere.
Lego Ninjago or swordsman? What do you think?
That is the dumbest shit. Oh my
Only
god.
you could ask a question like
That's dumb. That's dumb. Okay.
Your take earlier
Okay,
was dumber
don't
than
get me
mine.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Juby said some dumbass shit by saying Trunks is a swordsman. But you just asked a blatant question. Is a nigga who predominantly uses a sword, trained in all the sword styles, and fights with his sword every time, a swordsman? Nigga, what's the next question you gonna ask me? Are you gonna ask me, can Icarus fly?
Crazy.
He died though.
That you didn't answer the question.
I'm not talking about that Icarus. I'm not talking about that Icarus.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm talking about the
Oh.
one from the game.
Oh.
I thought I was like, yeah, he kind of just died at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, I was about to say, bro.
I wasn't talking about that Icarus.
It was
I
crazy
knew
how
he
I'm
died.
seeing.
That's how you're asking is
bunch
Kratos a
of
swordsman.
different-
I mean, no, he's
No.
he's not.
He wields like
His
you
blades
know,
aren't even
knives, but they aren't.
by the swords.
They're not.
They
Yeah,
are-
they just
they
counted
are
as blades.
Knives,
Can you
hold up,
stop
knives,
asking
hold up,
obvious
hold.
questions?
Knives is stretching it. First of all, knives is actually underselling it. Those fucking cleavers are not knives. If anything, they'd be classified as cleavers. He'd basically be wielding two fucking human-sized cleavers. Because I'm not sure if you've ever seen what it looks like when he stabs somebody with them bitches, especially
Them
the
bitches
blades
go
of
through
Exile.
people.
That's
Like
from that's from God of War 3.
size-
The blades of
size
Exile
his
from God of War 3.
chest.
Literally he stabbed somebody, and in the game it put like a regular like stab wound. I'm like, bro, that shit is literally the size of his torso. How would it not cut him in half? Like just from stabbing him. And again, that's just the blades of Exile, not the blades of Chaos. The blades of Chaos are the regular ones that we know, that are like kind of regular like giant daggers. Like the blades of Exile are fucking huge. Those are the ones that from God of War 3 that he killed Hades. So, yeah, but I mean, Kratos is also a Spartan, so of course he's adept in all
again with
weapons.
the Ichigo's thing. Can we just say that Ichigo not learned any
I
swordsman?
just don't
He
consider him a
he
swordsman.
kind of
did.
I do.
naturally.
He
He
I
kind of
consider. I will
naturally
always consider
learned
each
it.
of a swordman. I don't give a shit.
As opposed to actual people who learn these things, like all the other Soul Reapers and other characters in media, he just isn't
Not
that
saying
level.
Ichigo
If you
is
ask
He
me,
fought-
I'm just
okay,
saying
but
But he's still a
Ichigo.
swordsman, though.
Captain.
Okay,
No,
but
no,
Ichigo
wait,
is so
but he didn't
taught
hold
with
up.
sword.
No, whoa, okay, I'm glad you said that. Go ahead, finish, Nick. I'm glad you said that. Go
We
ahead, finish.
fought Byakuya, a captain.
Right? Okay,
The
so I want
first,
you to,
the
okay.
first one, he didn't. He had to. Wait. Pause. Even before
I
Byakuya,
was-
let's talk about that whole run. He is
I
fighting
actually am
people
looking for-
that know how to use swords. And he's winning. They have sword
Why do you?
styles.
Why do you keep
but
saying
listen,
Ichigo is
why do you think he's-
Ichigo is
why do you think
self-taught
he's
with
winning?
using his sword? He wasn't
I
taught by
want you
anyone
now.
how to use
No,
it.
real quick. I want you to think why he's winning. Is he winning because of his sword ability and his sword prowess, or is he winning because they are trying to figure out how he keeps getting stronger every time they're about to kill him? Because he definitely
Well,
does that
Ikaku,
majority of
that was a-
Yes, he overwhelmed Ikaku because Ikaku just could not match his spiritual pressure. He even said it himself when he said that Kenpachi would come and seek him out. He literally said it himself because of how strong his spiritual pressure was. Everybody he fought was really scared of his physical pressure. Now, when he goes in a Bankai form, I'll give him that. Ichigo's a straight up swordsman. I'm not gonna lie, I can't take that from him. Bankai Ichigo, swordsman.
Okay.
I'm not taking that from him. But regular Ichigo, Shikai Ichigo, not no fucking swordsman, bro. Giant Cleaver Ichigo is not a swordsman.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
I don't
can
agree
you,
with that.
you know what? I can give you that. If you want to say that Soul Society and pre-Soul Society Ichigo with Shikai,
Giant Shikai only
If you
Ichigo
wanna-
is
if
just
you wanna
not
say-
a swordsman, bro.
I can give you that. He's
How
not
about that? Are
really
we
trained
gonna
enough to
forget
be
like the
considered
first part of the
I can
series?
give you that.
Ichigo was just jumping up in the air and just
Nah, you're
swinging
right.
his sword.
But this whole time, I've been talking about like
I'm not
Bankai
talking about
Ichigo.
over. No, I'm
Yeah.
not talking
Bankai
about
Ichigo is a
Bankai
swordsman.
Ichigo.
Yeah,
No,
but
Bankai Ichigo is
Shikai and
swordsman,
regular
flat out.
Ichigo are not
I
swordsmen.
can't lie. Bankai Ichigo is a flat out swordsman because of the way he uses it, his ability, and how he uses
Anything past
But
after
Cleaver
he
Ichigo?
learned his
No.
Bankai, he is a swordsman.
You know, I'll say this: in the 1,000-Year Blood War, although he wasn't really taught how to use those swords, I could say then at that point, you know, Shikai and regular
Oh, I never
Ichigo
put
were
the damn
swordsmen.
laundry detergent in the thing. Hold on.
After
Yeah,
he
after
got
1,000 year-
Bankai.
Yeah, after
After he
1,000-Year
got
Blood War,
Bankai,
during
he
1,000-Year
is
Blood
a-
War, yeah, he learned how to use that sword and shit. He didn't because he hasn't been relying on his Bankai as much in the past cores,
Well,
and he's been
if you
doing
think
quite
That's
about
well.
because all
it,
the people he kept fighting
The
were fucking
Folkbrink arc,
jobbers.
his Shikai got better, so it wasn't as heavy or hard.
Yeah,
First of all,
Ichigo is probably
everybody,
just a-
everybody that Ichigo fought in the before like going to the soul palace and shit were a bunch of jobbers. All the Bambis, jobbers.
Jobber.
All the
They were
Bambis
definitely
straight up
some
jobbers.
They try to 4v1 him. And
They are
still
so
lost.
shit. Like, and then they tried to 4v1 a Yuha that wasn't even paying attention to them. And I mean, obviously they're gonna lose, but still.
They got fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know how they thought they were gonna handle, bro.
Hey, that's what rage do to you. It make you do stupid shit.
Yeah, and
What are
then
you
look what
doing,
happened to them.
Nick?
They all got packed the fuck up.
Having a good time. I'm doing-
And you know what's funny?
forgot I
I'm
never
pretty
put
sure
the
Yuha
damn-
didn't even get out of that chair while he packed.
He didn't get out of that chair. He was sitting there the whole time.
But these,
I'm just saying,
these-
bro. If
these
we're talking
five-pack
real
of-
life, if we're talking real life swordsmen, you gotta use real life examples. There's too many examples in One Piece for me to use. Too many examples in other animes like Gintama, Samurai X, even fucking, dude, even in
Video games too.
what's that shit called? Not Fire Force, but even in Soul Eater. There we go. I was trying to think of the name. Even in Soul Eater, there's too many examples. Black Star, swordsman. There's a couple other sword meisters in that anime. I can't think of all of them, but there's a couple of them.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real. Those Bambis were fucking fucked from the start. 3 of them are dead, and the other 2 are just okay. Like
All of them should be dead.
they were
except for
fucked from the start.
the
They
original
were literally fucked. They were fucked from the start. 3 of them are dead, and then the other 2 are okay at fighting. But they weren't gonna handle Yuha because they couldn't even handle Ichigo.
That nigga Ichigo just swatted his sword, and they was like, "Oh my god!"
And then he tried to get into an 8v1, and then they were, yo, Ichigo
Like,
about
bro
to
was
get
just
jumped
telling
that
me,
hard.
like, "You gotta dodge this attack. If you don't, it'll cut you clean in half." She's like, "No, I'm not gonna dodge it." He's like, "All right, well, do what you
Looks
gotta
at
do."
it like, okay.
I think that was a
He's
good.
like,
I think
"Nah,
that
okay."
was a
It's
good
so
enough
pretty.
recording.